Yeah, hi Robin. So how have you been? How has been the lockdown for you?
Um, Up and down. Down being obviously the fact that I can't go out and play football, but the indoor part being, I get to spend time with family, get to try other avenues of like, I don't know, let's say picked up yoga and all of those kind of things. So it's been up and down, but I'd rather be safe, and I hope everyone else is safe as well.
Where have you been staying during the lockdown?
So I'm settled in Goa,
Okay.
and yeah, been home all this while. I've been on the lucky side where we've been declared a somewhat green zone in the country. So yeah, I think yeah, that's how it is.
What have you been doing with your family? Any new hobbies that you picked up in this time?
I tried cooking. I got thrown out of the kitchen. But apart from that, in general, I've started doing a bit of yoga, helping around in the house wherever possible, because the season for us is quite a long time away from home.
Yep.
So sometimes it gets troublesome to like only hear things that need to be fixed or are fixed. So I've been home trying to help out in the kitchen by washing dishes. Yoga is one thing I picked up as a sport. And in general, this just sat down to myself and said, let me work on myself, be it mentally or physically. That's what I thought. And that it's been going well for now. And Goa becoming a green zone, it gave me the opportunity to go out and, cycle around the area. And it's absolutely amazing.
Any books recently you picked up or any movies that you watched?
So again, I've been Netflix for everybody is something that we do.
Yeah, yeah.
Apart from that, I've been watching a lot of documentaries. So me and my wife love crime documentaries or crime docu-series. So
Uh,
we watch a lot of those things on TV. Because
any
again, while you're playing foot,
any particular one
sorry.
any particular one which caught your attention which you really like?
Oh wow. There's one documentary called Trial by Media, which was the most recent one we watched.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
basically about how crimes, some of them like the culprits or the defendants sometimes go proven not guilty just because the media portrays them as such. And when you hear the story for yourself and you think otherwise, saying, uh, how, why? And then also we watch a lot of home decor, DIYs. And again, yeah, I think me as a person, I'm a very hands-on person. So we watch a lot of home decor DIY so that I can turn around and learn a new skill, if that's the word to put it. So the new skill that I'm trying to learn is carpentry, trying to
Oh,
build other things. So hopefully, hopefully in the coming time that will be easier to do.
and it's very necessary for an athlete to remain fit with gyms closed, fitness centers closed, training closed.
Yeah.
How did you manage to do that to be fit and
So in this day and age, uh, technology has gone so far ahead that we have so many apps on the internet. For me, Adidas came out with their running app and training app, and that's been helpful. And then apart from that, once the Home Team Hero Challenge came about, and I'm like, I want to do this as well. Why just work out and not do anything when I can work out and play my part, help to the cause and the pandemic, which is the coronavirus. So, with Adidas coming bringing the Home Team Hero Challenge in, that was really helpful. It gives you an added bit of motivation as well, where you just don't train and be like, okay, you know what, I can skip a day. No, you get yourself to train on the app every day because it's not just for you now. It's for everybody who's been affected by the coronavirus, and you're playing your part.
so what is this challenge about? I heard about this campaign. What is this about? Can you tell a brief about this? Explain it to fans watching.
So it's the Home Team Hero Challenge, which is we will contribute up to 1 million USD
Mhm.
for every hour that an athlete or anybody on the app trains. We at Adidas donate $1, and I think that's great because an hour throughout a 24-hour day is not much, and that too when you're working towards a better cause to better the environment and better everybody's life. Why not, right?
Yeah,
So A, you make yourself fit. B, you're contributing towards the virus, and C, you're it's like a thank you as well. It's not just contributions, because it's a thank you as well, saying, you know what, you guys have been on the front line helping us throughout, especially me, like, yes, a lot of the countries in the red zone, us, have come into the green zone. We haven't just automatically come into the green zone. There have been people on the front line working towards making sure that, let's start at Goa, let's make this agreement. Hopefully the country will follow as well. So it's also like a thank you note, if I can say.
great noble cause for you, I'm sure. Talking about football, it is starting to
Yeah,
slowly come back in Europe. Bundesliga is starting.
correct.
Do you think it is time for the Indian footballers to return to training grounds as well?
We've been on the lucky side. We usually have this time during an off season.
Hmm.
We usually begin. I personally begin my preseason before the preseason, so I call it pre-preseason.
Mhm.
So I also begin that during June, July, or August. So the 2 months is usually at home. So we've been lucky,
Mhm.
but during this time we maintain, which is usually at home.
Okay.
But again, when you're home as well on holidays, this is the time where you get to play football with your friends as such, you know. And not doing that, I miss it. For me, I'm still the kid that grew up playing with his friends, and I still want to do that. That makes me really happy to just go have a kickabout with your friends in the park, or now there are astroturfs available. So
Yep.
even on those, uh, yeah, it kind of breaks my heart that I can't go and play with my friends at this very moment. But again, you got to look at the bigger picture,
Yep.
right? So coming back to your question, whereas Indian football, we're safe to say that it begins in a couple of months for the Indian football fraternity, and hopefully, we do our bit and make sure that it does resume when it usually does in our country.
Uh,
So
there
let's
is a
hope so. Fingers crossed.
there's a real possibility that we might see ISL or I League played without fan. At least some of the games, some of the initial games, we might see without fans. How do you feel about
Right.
playing? Because athlete plays for the fans. Like, how do you feel about playing in a no crowd situation?
Uh, it's hard, it's football is a spectator sport, not just in our country. In general, it is a spectator sport. So it's going to be hard, but if it protects the rest of the community, not just for the footballing community, but just the whole country as a whole, you got to do it for everybody. Yes, we miss them, but I'm sure if we skip a game or two, we'll be back with a full stadium, because that just makes each footballer happy to see their home fans and their home team supporting everybody and making noise for us when we score goals and make them happy.
I remember a couple of years ago, Captain Sunil Chetri made an emotional appeal to fans to fill in the stadiums, and the next game in Mumbai was filled with stadiums. And then we started seeing a lot of crowd coming to India matches. Then we're gonna enter this
Right.
zone with no fans. Do you think after this no fans era gets over, the fans will rush in to watch because now we're finally getting a chance to watch? Or do you think it will be hard to bring back the fans to the stadium?
I think I'll just have to make another video to find out. Just like Sunil. But no, I think the culture of sport and the culture of fans is growing with leaps and bounds in our country. Not just for football, of Indian football for men, but even women's football is growing in India. So that being said, fans come and support their team no matter the gender now, and that's great to see as a footballer. We've all been there when we played at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 4 o'clock matches with empty stadiums, and now no matter what the time is, the stadiums are getting full. you know so they will come back. We all have friends and families and fans as well messaging us saying that we want to watch you play again, and that makes us happy and proud at the same time, that during this time it's not died down. They still want to come, they still want to see us play. So like us, they're counting down days to when this lockdown gets over as well, I'm guessing, and when football resumes. Till then, when you were home, you usually used to get to watch like Champions League finals, Euro Cups, and all of that. But in the coming times, I suggest, that's all I can say. In the coming times when this clears up.
And there are a lot of rule changes. Just like one last question I wanted to ask you about rule changes that happened in football. Five substitutions, goals not being celebrated in the similar manner, players clapping instead of hugging together, jumping the. What kind of, considering, like you said, Indian season starts in around 2 months, and the ISL and I League will
Yeah,
start around September. What kind of, do you think some of the changes in football in Indian context as well when it starts?
I think fingers crossed again. 2 months is a lot and not a lot of time for the medical industry to come out with a vaccine. I hope they do, because when you score goals, it's a great it's a very happy moment, not just for the person scoring goals, but also his whole team, because goals make your team win. As simple as that. So rather than having the opportunity to jump on my teammate or hug them, or vice versa, my teammates jumping and hugging me, I will miss that. So I hope it gets a vaccine comes out soon, so that adapt. Whereas goal celebrations are concerned, if we are coming down to the VAR, each to its own. Some people like it, some people don't like it. I suggest, I like football being raw. I like football being emotional. I like the grit of goals not being given and goals being given where they're not goals. It makes you fight harder to make sure you score another goal to make your team win. But again, each to its own. Anything that makes football improve, I'm up for it. And if the people who are above think that VAR helps football grow and improve, then why not?
A lot of sports are talking about no contacts, like cricket, we're talking about not using saliva. And so basically, that's what I wanted to. Is you seeing some rule changes coming in, tackling no contact or something like that? Rules changes in football happening.
No, man. No, man. I hope whatever you're saying is not true. Uh, I'd never want football to be a non-contact sport. I think my love for football was because of how physical and how the adrenaline rush that the sport gave me. And I think that comes when the sport is physical, right? So that being said, I'd always want football to be a physical sport. Uh, and that being said, I think we got to keep our fingers crossed. This coronavirus has not just affected the sports community, but everybody in this whole wild world is affected by it. So I think before what you say becomes true, we got to make sure we fight it together, and we don't have to play football as a non-contact sport.
And thanks. That's all the questions I had. Thanks for connecting with us, Robin. It was a pleasure talking to you.